Hello all, welcome to my next video on ethnographic research. If you like the video, please subscribe my channel, press the bell icon and also comment on the video. Before I could start with the video on ethnographic research, let me tell you all that this content of the video I have taken from John Creswell, fourth edition of John Creswell. Now, what is ethnographic research? This particular topic comes under qualitative research and it is a very important topic for the researchers who are doing their MEd and who are doing their MA education and PhD. So, let's begin with the ethnographic research. What is ethnographic research? Ethnographic designs are basically qualitative research procedures which are used for describing, analyzing, and interpreting a culture sharing group, shared patterns of behavior, beliefs, and languages that develop over the time. So, ethnographic study is basically a study of a culture, and in that study, we are studying the shared patterns of behavior, beliefs, and language. As defined by Lee, Compit, Brissell and Test 1993, a culture is everything having to do with the human behavior and belief. Culture includes languages, rituals, economic and political structures, life stages, interactions, and communication styles. Now, to understand the pattern of the culture sharing group, the ethnographer typically spends a considerable time in the field interviewing, observing, and gathering the documents about the group to understand their culture, sharing behaviors, belief, and language. So, in the ethnographic research, when we do the study of a particular culture, the researcher has to be present over there. The researcher has to be a part of the research. He or she is going to be in the field interviewing, observing and gathering the documents about the group, and also will understand their culture, their behavior, their beliefs and language. Now, you conduct an ethnography when you have a culture sharing group to study one that has been together for some time and has developed shared values, beliefs and languages. For example, if you are doing a study on some tribal community, the way their education is, the way their lifestyle is, that means you are doing a study of the culture of that particular tribes. So there they are the ones who are sharing a culture, sharing some specific values, beliefs and the language. So you conduct an ethnographic when you have long-term access to a culture sharing group so that you can build a detailed record of their behavior and beliefs over the time. You may be a participant in the group or simply an observer, but you have to gather extensive field notes, interview many people and collect letters and documents to establish the record of the culture sharing groups. So in the qualitative research, you all must be aware that we are using the different data collection techniques like interviews, observations, documents, reading through the documents, that is document analysis and all. In the same way, in the ethnographic study also, our study is going to demand for extensive field notes, interviews. We have to interview many people and also collect certain letters and documents which is going to establish the record. Now, this was all about the basic thing about the ethnographic study. That is, what is the ethnographic study? Now, there are different types of ethnographic designs. So, the roots of ethnography basically lie in the cultural anthropology, and the three major types of ethnographic study is the realist ethnography, the case study, the critical ethnography. Right. Now, what we'll do one by one. What is the realist ethnography? The realist ethnography narrates the study in a third person's dispassionate voice and reports on observations of participants and their views. Right. Here if I am doing a realist ethnography, if I am a realist ethnographer, then I am going to report my study into a third person's voice, right? And I am going to report on the observation of participants and their views. The ethnographer does not offer personal reflections here and remains in the background as an omniscient reporter of the fact. Here the reporter is just going to be present in the background. He is not going to put any personal reflections in that. Now, realist is an objective, scientifically written ethnography. Then there is something like confessional, a report of the ethnographer's fieldwork experiences. Then life history, a study of one individual situated within the cultural context of his life. If you are doing that study, that is a life history. Then autoethnography is a reflective self-examination by an individual set within his or her cultural context. Means if you are doing your own reflective self-examination, that is autoethnography. Then there is something like microethnography, wherein a study focused on a specific aspect of a cultural group and a setting. An ethnographic case study, a case analysis of a person, event, activity or a process which is in a cultural perspective. So these are also the different types of ethnographic studies which you can conduct. Then there is something like critical ethnography. It is a study of shared patterns of marginalized groups within the aim of advocacy about the issues of power and authority. Right? Means when you are doing a study of a particular marginalized group, right, that time you are doing critical ethnography, right, where there is a issue about the power and authority. When you are doing the feminist study, that is a study of women and the cultural practices that serve to empower and oppress them, then it is feminist. Postmodern, an ethnography written to challenge the problems in our society that have emerged from a modern emphasis on progress and marginalizing individuals, that is postmodern. Ethnographic novels, a fictional work which is focused on cultural work of a group, that is ethnographic novel. So these are the different types of ethnographic studies which you can do. Then what are the key characteristics of ethnographic research? Cultural themes. There has to be cultural themes, a cultural sharing group, shared patterns of behavior, beliefs and language, field work, description, themes and interpretation, context or setting, and researcher reflexivity. So these 7 are the key characteristics for ethnographic research. Now what is a cultural theme? A cultural theme in ethnography is a general position which is declared or implied, that is openly approved or promoted in a society or a group, right? A cultural theme, for example, as I told you, you are doing a study of the nomadic tribes or the tribal study, so that is a particular cultural theme. When you are doing that particular study, that is a cultural theme. As with all the qualitative studies, this theme does not serve to narrow the study. Instead, it becomes a broad lens that researchers use when they initially enter a field to study a group, and they look for the manifestations of it, right? So here as per this cultural themes, it is not narrowing the study, but it is in fact broadening your study, and it gives the researcher a different angle to look at it when the researcher enters into the field. Walcott 2008 mentioned introductory texts that discusses themes in cultural anthropology. Author announces them in titles or at the beginning of the study, isn't it? At the beginning of the study you will say that I am going to do a study on so and so. Then it can be seen in purpose statements, then in ethnographies or in research questions as central phenomena. So the cultural theme may come in the statement of problem or the statement of purpose. Like I told that if you are doing any particular cultural study, thought about the education of the tribes, okay, then a study of the an educational study of the tribals staying in or residing in so and so particular area, then that becomes your cultural theme. Okay, then examples of cultural themes. See, they have given the certain examples like persistence in distance education courses, Garland 1993, the coming out stage of gay identity development, Rhodes 1997, development of students' social skills in Japan, Lee Tenrey 1999. So these are the researches which were done. So whatever title you are going to put in your ethnographic research, that will be your first thing, that is your cultural theme. That means you are thinking about that on what culture, on what basis I am going to do my study. Then is a culture sharing group. So a culture sharing group in ethnography is two or more individuals who have shared behaviors, beliefs and languages. It is not always that it has to be a bigger group, but it can be just 2 or 3 people who have shared those particular behavior, beliefs and languages. Now here again they have given an example. For example, in the distance education course, if there are 47 students in resource management and environmental studies, so that became my culture sharing group, which is given by Garland 1993. 40 college students in an organization who identify themselves as either gay or bisexuals. Means if you are studying, doing a study on the gays identity development, then here there are 40 students who are being identified as that. So they will become my culture sharing group. So that is what is meant by culture sharing group. So first one is cultural themes, that is your title, what you are going to do the study about. Then second one is the culture sharing group, as I told you, that is how many individuals are involved over there. Third one is the shared patterns of behavior, belief and language. So a shared pattern in ethnography is a common social interaction that stabilizes as rules and expectations of the group. So a behavior is an action taken by an individual in a cultural setting. So what is meant by behavior? Whatever action is taken by the individual. Right. Now Walcott over here had studied how a principal selection committee acted as they deliberated about selecting a candidate. They have given a scenario like an interview committee or selection committee was appointed for the selection of a principal, and how they acted when they were deliberated about selecting a particular candidate. So behavior is nothing but how an individual behaves in that particular cultural setting. And a belief is how an individual thinks about or perceives things in a cultural setting, right? Matlab, how what an action is taken, that is a behavior, but how an individual thinks or perceives is what is a belief. So Padula and Miller in 1999 found that women doctoral students in psychology shared the concern that they were not able to invest much energy in their families. Right. Then I talked about behavior, I talked about belief. Then there is something like language. Language is how an individual talks to others in that particular cultural setting. So that is what is language. Then comes field work. So ethnographers collect data through spending time as participants, sites where they live, work or play. Right. To understand better, an ethnographer spends considerable time with the group. The researcher here gathers the data in the setting where the participants are located and where their shared patterns can be studied. Right. So till here I think everyone it is very clear that for what we have to do for doing an ethnographic study. Right. We have these all particular things, that is the cultural themes, then a culture sharing group, then shared patterns of behavior, belief and language. I already talked about what is meant by behavior, what is a belief and what is a language. Then field work, right? And then in the field work it involves emic data, etic data and negotiation data. Right. Now what is the emic data? Emic data is basically the information which is supplied by the participants in a study. It often refers to the first order concepts such as the local language and the way of expression which is used by the members in the cultural sharing group. Like if I am doing a study on those tribes, then I should be aware of the language what they are speaking. So I am going to write down in the same way. I am going to observe that in what are their expressions, what is the language they are going to use, and I am going to note it down. So that is the emic data, which is also called as the first hand data, which I am receiving from my participants of the study. Then is the etic data. Etic data is basically information representing the ethnographer's interpretation of the participants' perspectives. So here it is not the first order information. I am not directly writing what I am seeing or what they are saying to me, but here my interpretation as a researcher, ethnographer's interpretation is playing an important role. And the etic typically refers to second order concepts such as the language which is used by the social scientist or the educator to refer to the same phenomena which is mentioned by the participants. Then is a negotiation data. This data consists of information that the participant and the researcher agree to use in the study, because somewhere the ethics are also concerned over here, right? So negotiation occurs at different stages, such as agreeing to entry procedures for a research site, mutually respecting individuals at the site, developing a plan for giving back or reciprocating with the individuals. See, it is very important that we develop a rapport or a relationship with the people whom we are going to study over there. So in the negotiation data, what happens, both the participant and researcher, they agree that what type of data or how much of the data can be used in the study. So this is a negotiation study, because sometimes it so happens that everyone doesn't like that all the information or all the data is being shared, right? So this kind is called as a negotiation data. Then there is something like description, themes and interpretations. A description is basically a detailed rendering of the individuals and the scenes to depict what is going on in the culture sharing group, right? So you are just writing down the field notes, writing in detail everything. So that is what is the description. Then the ethnographers provide a description from a general picture to the specific setting in which an event takes place. Then there is something like theme analysis. Theme analysis moves away from the reporting the facts to making an interpretation of people and activity. Now once we are writing everything, I am reporting whatever facts, whatever things I have seen, but then from that I have to also do the analysis, right? I have to interpret it, so that will come under the theme analysis. The ethnographer will develop themes from the data. The ethnographer segments the text, and how the ethnographer will develop the themes from the data. Whatever he has got the information, he is just going to note it down, write it down, everything. Then he is going to segment the text, code them and formulate a small set of non-overlapping themes, right? And in an ethnography, these themes map the shared pattern of behavior, thinking or talking. So this is very important for the researcher. And then interpretation in ethnography draws inferences and forms conclusions about what is learned. So this phase of analysis is very subjective. Here the researcher's role is very important. Then is the context or the setting. What is context? It is the setting or the situation or the environment that surrounds the cultural group being studied. That means you are studying the cultural group in which particular environment. That is what is the context. And researcher reflexivity. It refers to the researchers being aware of and openly discussing his or her role in the study in a way that honors and respects the site and participants. As I told you, it is very important that the researchers are aware of what you are doing. You are openly discussing your role in the particular study, and this will honor and respect the site also and the participants also. So this is all with my first part of ethnographic study, what we have studied, that is what is ethnographic study, how you are going to select an ethnographic study, what all things come under that, and a very small part of the analysis, that is how you are going to write the description, then the themes, and then the analysis, how the analysis has been done. I hope till here it is a bit clear. Thank you very much, and for the next further steps in ethnography and the further part of the ethnographic research, I will continue in my next PPT. Thank you very much. Thank you.